Hi, I'm Alana. Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're doing a get ready with me for church. So, today I want to talk about what I'm doing my research, what I'm researching, I'm writing my master's thesis on, which is the function of the ego in psychosis. So, I would like to recommend a book called Psychoanalytic Notes on an Autobiographical Account of a Case of Paranoia, which is by Sigmund Freud. And so this is what I'm writing my research about, is the function of the ego in psychosis, analyzing this case of a man called Paul Schreber. So Paul Schreber was a German judge who lived in the 19th century, and he kind of like had a psychotic breakdown, and he started hearing like voices and having delusions. Like he thought that he needed to be transformed into a woman and then like penetrated by God's rays of light to like save the world kind of thing. And so Freud and Lacan have both written about this case. So the question is, what is the function of the ego in psychosis? How do Freud and Lacan each differently conceptualize it? So Freud saw the function of the ego in psychosis as having like a defensive, protective role. So like Freud believed that Schreber was secretly like had homosexual desires towards his doctor, and so he like projected those to be like, okay, so I can't handle the desires, like I love him, so I'm gonna like project it and be like, okay, instead he loves me, and then that is transformed into he persecutes me, and thus like his repressed homosexual desires are like transformed by his ego into something more tolerable. And then Lacan instead, Lacan views the ego as an imaginary function that should not be trusted, whereas Freud believes that the ego should be viewed as a powerful ally that can be strengthened in analysis. Lacan says the ego should not be trusted because it's just an imaginary function that you use to like mediate your interactions with the world, and like it's helpful, but it's not like trustworthy. And so Lacan believed that psychosis was caused by a structural deficit caused by like the missing name of the father function. So the name of the father function in Lacan's view was like the function that separated the child from the mother, like the function that said, you know, like you cannot be your mother's only desire, and the function that like set like limits and boundaries and said that like you can't always have what you want. And so Lacan viewed psychosis as that like the name of the father function was never initially installed in the first place, and so then like when later in life that function is called upon and it's missing, the psyche collapses as a result of that. So thank you for getting ready with me for church today. You're beautiful, you're perfect, I love you, God bless you, goodbye.